My in-laws moved into our home while I was traveling and told my husband I was the problem. I came home to an empty house and a full plan. I had been gone for 19 days. A work assignment across 2 cities back-to-back client meetings that kept me on planes and in conference rooms from the first Monday to the third Friday. I called my husband Marcus every night. He sounded fine. He said everything was fine. So when I landed and took the cab home and put my key in the front door, I was not prepared for what was on the other side. My closet had been emptied. My things were folded into boxes stacked in the hallway. The master bedroom door was closed with light coming from underneath it. My mother-in-law's reading glasses were on the kitchen counter. Her medication was lined up beside the coffee maker. Her shoes were at the front door. Marcus came out of the study and his face had a look I had never seen before. Something between guilt and rehearsed resolve. "We need to talk," he said. Mom and Dad had some issues at their place and I couldn't leave them with nowhere to go. So I invited them to stay until things settle. I looked at him. "Where are my things?" He shifted his weight. "I thought maybe you could use the guest room for now, just until we sort out the space." And then he said the thing that ended whatever version of our marriage we still had. "Mom and I talked while you were gone. She helped me see some things. She thinks a lot of the tension in this house comes from you." I let that sit in the air between us for a long moment. Then I picked up my bag and walked back out the front door and sat in my car. Here is what Marcus and his mother did not know. The house we were living in was not jointly owned. I had purchased it 4 years before we married using money I had saved and an inheritance from my grandfather. Marcus had moved in when we married. His name was never added to the deed because the mortgage was already in my name and the paperwork had simply never been updated. I had not done that deliberately. I had just never gotten around to it. But sitting in my car in my own driveway after 19 days away, I was very grateful for the oversight. I called my attorney from the front seat. Then I called a locksmith and scheduled a visit for the following morning. Then I opened my laptop and drafted 3 documents. The first was a formal notice of trespass addressed to my in-laws, giving them 72 hours to vacate the property. The second was a letter to Marcus informing him that as a non-owner occupant, he had no legal right to invite additional residents into the property without my consent. The third was an emergency filing to begin separation proceedings. I stayed in a hotel that night and did not tell Marcus where I was. The next morning the locksmith changed every lock in the house while my attorney hand-delivered the notices. Marcus called me 43 times between 9 in the morning and noon. I answered on the 44th. "You can't do this," he said. His mother's voice was rising in the background. "This is our home." I corrected him quietly. "It's my home. It has always been my home. Your name is not on the deed." His mother got louder. "You have no right. That's a matter of public record," I said. "You can verify it at the county clerk's office." Marcus said I was being vindictive, that his parents had nowhere to go, that I was destroying the family over a misunderstanding. I asked him one question. "Was it a misunderstanding when you moved your mother into my bedroom and packed my belongings into boxes while I was away working?" He didn't answer. The 72 hours elapsed. My in-laws left on the 3rd day. My mother-in-law cried loudly enough that the neighbors came outside. My father-in-law said nothing. They loaded their car and drove away. Marcus stood in the driveway watching them go. He called me that evening from what I assumed was a hotel. He wanted to explain. He said his mother had told him I had been pulling away from the marriage for months, that she had only been trying to help, that he had made a mistake trusting her over me. I listened to all of it. Then I told him the separation papers had already been filed, that he would be hearing from my attorney, that the house was mine and he no longer had a key. He was quiet for a long time. Then he asked if there was any way back from this. I thought about 19 days of phone calls where everything was fine. I thought about my clothes folded into boxes in my own hallway. I thought about his mother's reading glasses on my kitchen counter. "No," I said. "There isn't." I hung up and walked back into my house and stood in the kitchen for a moment in the quiet. Then I unpacked my suitcase, put away my things, and went to bed. For the first time in a long time, the house felt exactly like mine.